So, I bet you're wondering why I have a 5-meter measuring tape here. Well, it's so that I can accurately measure the size of my penis. So this time I'm making a human benchmark bot. You know that website that measures your reaction time and tests your memory and stuff like that? Basically, I want to make a bot that will 100% all of their tests. Why, you ask? I don't know, I thought it'd be a fun idea. I was wrong. Okay, let's start with the easiest stuff first, the reaction test. The screen turns red, and when it turns green, we press the button. Easy and simple. Next. The aim test. A target appears, we press it, and repeat this 30 times. We will do this by looping through the entire screen to find where the grey pixels are. When we find them, we just send back the position, move the mouse there, press and repeat. Now, this works, but it's really slow. But you know what could help us? Some of that filthy optimization. We know that the target is 100 pixels big, so instead of checking each pixel for its color, we just check, let's say, every 50th pixel for its color, and if it isn't blue, we know that we found the target. Next is visual memory. This one is a bit trickier, but still easy compared to what's waiting ahead of me. First step is to find the buttons. We will do this by checking each pixel and all of its surrounding ones as well. To explain a bit more, let's take a pixel. First, we check that the pixels above and to the left are white. And then we also check that the pixels to the right and down aren't white. This returns the position of each button on the screen. We then wait for them to hide and loop through the positions while pressing the buttons. Next. Number memory. For this, I will use an image-to-text library. I just make sure that my program takes the picture of the numbers and then feed that image into the image-to-text engine. And whatever it shits out, we simply write back into the website and we're done. We're zooming through these tests. Was what I was gonna say, but for some dumb reason, it just had a huge problem returning the numbers, and just the numbers. In the end, I made it upscale the image, turn it black and white, put the same image next to it, and add numbers at the start for reference. I would say that now it is 100% reliable. Up to 6 numbers. Yeah. Next. Verbal memory. A word is shown to you. If you haven't seen it, you press new. And if you have seen it, you press seen. This one, again, really easy. We just screenshot the word, feed it to the image-to-text engine, check if the word is already in the list. If it is, we press seen. If it isn't, we add it to the list and press new. And just keep repeating this. I also made a chat version of myself and made it think whenever it was performing tasks. Sequence test. It's basically Simon game but with 9 buttons and no color. And my fucking god, I hate it. This took me 3 days to code. In my first attempt, I made it wait a certain amount of time and then take a screenshot of the buttons and mark which one is white into a list. I somehow got the timing of the screenshots just right to fool me into believing that it was working. But as it turned out, it got to a certain point and then got desynced. My other solution was to overcomplicate everything. I will not bore you with this pile of spaghetti, but to put it simply, it is constantly checking the colors of the buttons, and if it detects that the button position has changed and that only one button is currently shown, because they just had to make it so that 2 buttons can be white at the same time. Thank you. It will save its position, and then when the correct number of buttons was recorded, it will then press their positions. And finally, the chimp test. Probably the hardest to implement. Where I will have to use the image-to-text engine, check that it only returned the numbers, find the positions of the buttons, sort all of the pressing positions, and it's done. Holy shit. Yeah, turns out that the button positions are actually static, so finding the positions of each one wasn't that hard with this simple formula. What the fuck? For some reason, the image-to-text engine also took pity on me after the sequence test, and now works flawlessly, at least with this test. Now we have all the parts of the program done. Before we run it and see it absolutely destroy the human benchmark test, let's actually check what my average score on everything is. Yikes. Except for visual memory and aim trainer, like nothing else is anything special. And now, let's see what this thing I spent way too long writing can do. and just as expected, it smashed it. Except for the number memory, which is a bit annoying. I don't know why, but I don't know, 15 was the maximum it just went. Also, for the visual memory and the sequence memory test, I could have gotten a way higher score. It's just that I didn't want to wait for them to finish, like, it just took forever to do one thing, especially on the sequence test. But yeah, I guess you can kinda call this a success. Leave a like if you liked it, I don't know. Peace. And my fucking god, I hate it. This took me 3 days to code.